like to start with thanking Sahili for arranging this for us once again. And Rusi. Last week Gaurav covered a book called as Good to Great. This is almost on the similar lines. Good to Great covered specific companies. This book will be covering specific successful people. Malcolm Gladwell is one of the renowned authors. He has written 4 books till now: Tipping Point and Blink, before Outliers. Tipping Point and Blink was specifically about Tipping Point was specifically about a couple of things, how exactly they happen. He picked up one of the topic like why in US crimes rate reduced drastically in certain period of time, and that's how we started writing books. Blink was about how exactly using subconscious mind we can come to know that what can happen in future. So it was all collection of different articles which Malcolm gathered during his profession as a journalism. Then came the book Outliers. Outliers is mostly about the story of success. This book is covering trying to find a typical trend about the successful people. It is not only the kind of features which these people have, but also the circumstances which force them to be successful. This book is all about that. We will start with that. I am Muralidhar Naidu. I work with Tech Mahindra, my Twitter handle. I have around 10 years of experience, currently working in Tech Mahindra as a delivery manager. Let us move ahead. Malcolm Gladwell, he is a journalist basically, and this book came in 2008. As I just told you, during his journalism as a career, he tried to cover a couple of stories, and each of those stories he tried to then convert it into quite a few books. So Tipping Point, then the Blink, then this one, and the latest one is What the Dog Saw. It is recently released. Canadian born, basically his mother is Jamaican and his father is British. He was moved to Canada and then started his career as journalism. He worked with quite a few good people, good companies, and then he joined New York Times. And this book specifically came when he was working with New York Times. And this was one of the bestsellers through New York Times as a publisher. Book is having a common theme, basically exploring subtle themes and trying to find out not only the specific success formula, but how the behavior or how exactly environment help successful people to reach where they are, where they have reached at that point. Outliers, if you go with the definition, statistically, it is something that is situated apart from the normal curve. If you are following a bell curve, something which lies somewhere else are the outliers statistically. These, if you want to put it in terms of the people, these are the people who try to take a different path altogether. Basically, in specific to this particular book, these are those people who had courage to do something extra, living on the edge and going beyond it and trying to bring something which nowhere else has achieved. So, book starts with a very specific example. There is a small city in Pennsylvania states, USA, Roseto. Late 18th, 19th century, 1880s or something, people started shifting from Italy to this particular place in Pennsylvania, and they have named it on their village name in Italy, that is Roseto. This book starts with explaining why Roseto is special and how exactly these people are different. Before that, I need to tell you how exactly this city got developed. People started shifting from Italy. First of all, some 10-12 people came because Italy was going through a rough period at that time, and people had good opportunity. USA was always called as land of opportunities. Across the years, people started migrating from Italy to this place, and as we happened to go to the place where we have someone who we know. So most of the Italians who are coming from Roseto, they gathered in a small town. They named it as Roseto again, and they started making a living out there. The villages surrounding are mostly the migrants from German or Britain. So basically, they have a situation where they have to deal themselves by most of the things. So they started their own church over there. They started their own schools. They started something where people can earn by themselves. So Roseto was a we can say, dependent small town in Pennsylvania state. One of the doctors there have found out that okay, by the time we reach 1950s or 1960s, we have quite a few people. Roseto was completely crowded with the Italians. Mostly everyone coming from Italy, from Roseto, happened to go only and stay in this particular place only. So during this 50s and 60s, 20th century, USA was going through most of the heart disease. Proper medication was definitely not there, but moreover, people tend to have heart diseases even say from before 60 of age. So somehow one of the doctor found out that Roseto, this particular place, is not at all having the heart disease cases for the people who are below 65 years. One of the doctors who was sociologist as well, he took it as a challenge to find out basically why exactly this is happening, why exactly this particular place is different than rest of the USA. Complete USA one side and keeping Roseto as one side, he found out that this is not following a trend at all. Basically, so this example, we can say that Roseto was an outlier as compared to entire USA at that particular time. They went ahead and what they did is they tried to do some research over it. They collected most of the people, they collected their blood sample, they tried to go through their routine, they talked to almost everyone in Roseto. He had his team who was working with him. So this doctor, he tried to do a kind of research that why exactly people at Roseto are not kind of falling prey to the high fats or basically high heart disease symptoms. And basically he has done everything which we can do by the systematic research. As I told, blood test reports, then going through each of the schedule of their, what exactly they eat, how exactly they do they really exercise, what exactly they do before lunch, post lunch, where they go. So, and he could not find any of the clue to conclude that and to find out the solution that why exactly these people are different. He was trying to search this because he thought that this is a good opportunity to find out a reason so that the same can be implemented for rest of the USA, so that we can have less people having heart diseases who are below 60 or 65 years of age. The answer, after all the research, then he started looking at the cultural side of this particular small village called as Roseto. Most of them, they came from Italy, so those are not basically Americans. And those people haven't followed the trends which rest of the USA or America is following. They used to stay in their own place, self-contained, we can say. So they have that culture in them, which is similar to what we used to have in our villages around 30-40 years back. Most of the people are more cultural. Most of the people tend to kind of talk to everyone in the city. Most of them know who are staying with their neighbors. And the answer which he got is that it is nothing else but the culture which Roseto is following. They are more social. They are kind of working hard. They eat a lot of fats, but still they are more social. They have something which they have embedded it in culture. So it's not about something that they are exercising more. It's not about that. It's there in their genes that they will not fall prey to the heart diseases. But mostly it's about the culture. And with this note, book starts with the experience that most of the things which happen, it is not something which is specific to individual, but it's something that the environment has a lot of things to do with it. A clear example of Roseto is that the culture which they have grown, the environment which they are growing, is kind of preventing them by falling prey to most of the diseases which were there in those 50s and 60s. So Malcolm Gladwell starts with the note that individuals not only succeed but stand for outside the norm. They are successful beyond even wild expectation, and these are the outliers who are all covered into this particular book. So chapter by chapter he is trying to open a mystery where where he has tried to find out something which no one, by the time this book has came out, no one has tried to even look into. Everyone know that so this particular guy is successful, but everyone know that he is talented, he is having a lot of opportunities, he worked on it, but no one looked at the circumstances, environment he has grown, and how exactly he has reached at that particular position. So this particular book will try to open that particular mystery one by one. Let's start with one of the incident in the book where it covers Medicine Hat Tigers. This is a team in Canada which plays ice hockey, and this is one of the best teams in Canada. And how exactly ice hockey goes over there is something like cricket or Premier League, or even football Premier League goes in Europe. In USA, they try to get the players right from their childhood. So even say if you are 8 or 9 years, you get selected. You get selected in one of the groups. So there are around 3 or 4 categories. So Group A, Group B, and Group C. Group A will be having best of the people, and then they will start their leagues. Best of them will be get picked up for different teams, something like what we have in IPL over here. So best of them will be picked up for say Medicine Hat Tigers, and then eventually they will play for state and country. So most of the Canadian ice hockey players used to come from this particular team called as Medicine Hat Tigers. So Malcolm happened to kind of find this, that how exactly is this happening? Why exactly people only say from Medicine Hat Tigers are joining this particular group, and how exactly hockey players and what is the trend on it? So what he tried to do is he tried to find out something. One of the team he selected with around 25 people in 2007, and he had tried to list down them, and his wife noticed something which even he could not figure out on the first show. So if you can figure out something different in this particular chart, these are the name of the teams which name of the players in the team who have participated in 2007. We can zoom if you want, but yeah. Anything specific trend if you can find out. Those who have read the book, I would request them to keep note. Sorry?
Height is around 6 feet.
There are a lot of January born guys.
Okay. Height is around 6 feet, you said. You said there are a lot of January guys. Anything else which anyone can point out?
Combination of left and right.
Combination of?
Left and right hands.
Okay. Okay. Good one. Anything else? Mostly small town guys. Okay. Okay.
Born in 87.
Born in 87, 88. Okay. But okay, yeah. This list is, as I said, for around 25 people, and yeah, most of the features, as you said, height, as you said, one of these, as you said, from the small cities. Uh, the different thing which Malcolm's wife found out is that out of this 25, around 17 are from Jan, Feb and March. So, yeah, you get the goodies. So, how exactly it is happening and why it is happening? So, the answer lies somehow the selection pattern of the ice hockey team in Canada. They have a deadline, or we can say cutoff, of say 1st January. As say basically you should be 9 years old to join a A-League team on say 1st of January. So what is happening is, suppose I am 2nd January or I am 2nd February born. I go there, I have to play good hockey, of course, then only I will get selected for A group. But then, as compared to the guy who was born in August, September or December, I am almost 6 to 8 months elder. So in my span of 9 or 8 years, I have got that advantage to start with. I am more mature physically as well. I have got little more time to practice, and at the same time I have something which is basically lagging by 8 to 9 months as compared to the people who are born in say September, October and November. So this was just one team. So Malcolm then went ahead, he opened the book for around last 12 years for all the hockey players in Canada, and he found out that around 70% of the players who have played in the top leagues, they were born in the initial months of the year. So basically they got the advantage, we can say, the starting advantage. And as he explains, as I just said, selection starts at very young age, and the players who are older will tend to be more competent because they started early, they are